from Naomi's Home Health. I never know when this is going to start, this live. So I wanted to get on here and touch on oxidative stress because it is a really, really important topic and we don't talk about it enough and we don't understand it. So I want to give you a bit of an understanding about oxidative stress because it's linked to over 260 diseases in the body, and autoimmune disease is one of them. So it affects our body a lot. So oxidative stress is the imbalance between the production of free radicals and the ability of the body to counteract those free radicals and their negative effect by neutralizing them with antioxidants. Now, what are free radicals? So free radicals are like toxins or things that affect the cells and cause the oxidative stress in our body. So things like, toxic chemicals, our radiation and things from our phones, stress, too much exercise. So if you exercise a lot, you're a runner, you create a lot more oxidative stress in your body than other people do. So the food our food that's sprayed, it's genetically modified, all these cause free radicals. Pharmaceuticals, our medication that we take for our thyroid, yes, it helps us and we need that, but it can also have a negative effect in other areas of our body. So what happens is, we have all these free radicals accumulating in our body and our body can't combat it enough. We can't take on enough antioxidants to combat those free radicals. So we need to find something that can balance that and to get rid of that. So oxidation is just like a chemical term that describes this, and it's a cellular thing. So what does oxidative stress cause in the body? It causes inflammation. So if you have a lot of inflammation, that is the oxidation in your cells. So, your brain fog, your fatigue, muscle, joint pain, your eyesight when that starts to go, headaches, sensitivity to things, low immune system, your heart, anything to do with your heart, respiratory system. Oxidative stress hits everywhere in your body because we are made up of cells. We are cellular beings, and oxidative stress affects our cells. So there are things that we can do to help combat oxidative stress, and one of them is by activating our Nrf2 pathway. You've probably heard me say this before, but I want to keep saying it because it's really, really important, and it's what changed my healing. So Nrf2 is a pathway in our body that it plays a really important role in regulating your genes, and those genes control the expression of your proteins that is critical in detoxification, like getting rid of all the free radicals in your body and getting rid of the dead cells and all of those things. We need our Nrf2 pathway to be switched on, and as we age or we get sick, that Nrf2 pathway gets weak and we can't detox. So, we remove foods, we do all these things, but sometimes we need a little bit of a boost to activate that pathway. So for me, I didn't know anything about this, and I was going through, I'd done 3 or 4 years of different maybe 4 years of different cleansers, programs, different naturopaths, healers, doctors. The doctors I'd already, they were long gone. This is 4 years of other stuff, of natural healing. I had removed foods. By this time, I had been on medical medium protocol for 2 years, so I was just eating fully clean food. After 2 years, I still had heart palpitations. I was drinking my celery juice. I was doing all these things, and I felt better. But as I was saying to my mate who introduced me to this Nrf2 pathway, I was like, I just still need something. It's just taking so long. And little did I know it probably could have taken me 5 years, but it's really, really hard work when you are doing all the right things and you're only just kind of getting there. So she said to me, look, you need this thing that we just call a little yellow pill. And I was like, oh, and I trust her. She, like, my friend Prem, she is amazing. She's very holistic. You know, she knows a lot of these things. And she's just one of those people who wouldn't introduce you to something if it wasn't awesome. So this little yellow pill that I decided to invest in, I researched it. I thought, I'm going to find out what this does. And I went into a lot, and there is more studies on this little yellow pill than all the supplements combined that you can purchase. It is not an actual supplement. It is an activation. It's very, very different. It activates your cells to create their own antioxidants. So when we pop one blueberry into our body, we are putting the antioxidant into our body, and our body has to use that. When we activate our Nrf2 pathway, it's activating our cells to create their own antioxidants. So we put one blueberry in, we are combating one free radical. When we put one activation that activates this Nrf2 pathway, it can combat up to 1 million free radicals at just one pill. So those free radicals are what we are trying to combat and get rid of and detox out of our body. And if your Nrf2 pathway isn't working properly, which I guarantee you it's not, and you can go on to pubmed.gov, because that's where all the scientific research is. That's where published studies are and peer-reviewed studies. And you can go and type in oxidative stress and see how many diseases come up. But type in Nrf2 pathway as well and see what else comes up. So this Nrf2 Synergizer actually reduces the oxidative stress in your body by up to 40% in just 30 days. That is impossible to do with anything else, with fruits and vegetables. You still should be eating fruits and vegetables and doing all the right things to put into your body for so many reasons. But this, for me, it's like it flicks a switch on and your body goes, oh, right, I'm awake now. So it took me 8 weeks to get rid of my heart palpitations, and I've been trying for 4 or 5 years to get rid of these. I used medication, and then for about 2 years, and then for 4 or 5 years after that, I went into natural remedies, and they reduced, but they were still there. So this in 8 weeks did that for me. And if you have heart palpitations, it's the worst. And I don't know, it must have just been something in my body that needed to be detoxed that I couldn't detox myself. So this helps regulate your survival genes, those genes that we talked about that the Nrf2 pathway helps switch on. It helps your body detoxify those genes, and it keeps the master blueprint of the cell's function intact. So instead of, having the cell corrupted, it actually helps keep that cell function intact. So it significantly reduces cellular stress through Nrf2 activation. There is nothing, you cannot get anything like this. Now, it does have ingredients that you've probably tried before. I had tried them all. So it's got ashwagandha, milk thistle, ashwagandha for adrenals, milk thistle for your liver, turmeric for the inflammation, green tea for the energy, and bacopa. Now, all of those things are in a really small amount combined to create this activation. You can't take all these products and get these results. I've taken them all separately, and you can't get these results. So you're going to end up with fast muscle recovery, improved immune system, improved joint function, supports your hair, nails, your growth. I mean, this is why I'm not on medication. This is a lot of the things that I do. Don't get me wrong. I do a lot. I do a lot. But this, I can't even talk highly enough about it, because it's changed everything. If you go into the pin post in this group and you look at how I was, what I looked like, that was me after a couple of years of doing some healing. That's not me at the start of my healing. That's me a couple of years in, and it's me just before I took this little yellow pill. And like I said, I'm a couple of years into my healing, and I took this yellow pill, and it just changed everything for me. People were looking at me like, why have you got so much energy all of a sudden? I dropped some weight because when you your detoxification pathway is switched on properly, you're going to get rid of some excess stuff that you don't need. Everything improved for me, my eyesight. And as the months went on, another symptom would drop off the perch. So it started with, it got rid of my heart palpitations, which was the biggest pain for me. I started to be able to exercise a little bit again. I started sleeping better. I was sleeping better, but I started sleeping really well. It just reduces your moods where you're irritable, and it changes your focus, your concentration, your memory, everything, because that Nrf2 pathway is starting to work. Now, it might not switch on for you in 2 months. It might take you 6 months. I don't know. Everyone's different. There were people who I've introduced it to who have said it's taken them a bit longer, maybe because I'd already was into a few years into my healing, that it worked quicker for me. But I will never stop taking this. My parents take it, my brother, my children. My son says to me, "Mommy, I need that because I don't feel as good in the head." Like, he gets emotional, and it definitely helps him emotionally. Definitely makes him, he just says he feels different. It makes him feel happier, is the words he used. So I've got, one of my good friends, she is a postal delivery woman, and she's 100 miles an hour. And it has changed her health. She had some health issues, and she is like a little busy bee running everywhere. And she said she will always take that as well. And I told her about this for a while, and she sort of went, But after she took it, she was like, "Oh my gosh, like, I know what you're talking about now." So there is a lot of people who I have on this. This is not, you can look at all the studies. You can go in to pubmed.gov, and there's a lot of studies on this. And that reducing the oxidative stress by 40% in 30 days that does come from a series of studies. So it's not just something that they claim, it actually does that. There have been live blood samples tested, and they test them in 30 days, and you can see the difference in the oxidation. So I'm telling you about this because it changed my life, and it's not going to hurt anybody to try it. It's not even expensive. For me, I would pay hundreds of dollars for this. I would. It's not hundreds of dollars, but I would pay a fortune for this. I would never, ever, tell anyone to not take it. It's amazing. You'll probably Google it and see some bad reviews or whatever, and you're going to see that about everything. You could see that about the most beautiful person in the world. Google has that, and people are negative. But for me, this is what changed everything, and it really flick that switch on. Like, it just ignites something in your body. And no, there's nothing else like it. It's called activation for a reason, not supplementation. So everything else is supplementation. The only one thing in the world called activation, and this is your Nrf2 Synergizer. So I'm telling you this because it made a huge difference to my life. I will put the link to this on my shop, and you can have a look at it. Just select your country. What country? Most countries, like all over in Europe, the US, Asia, you can get it. But it definitely, if you give it a good go, I never take anything for less than 6 months, ever. I don't drop off something after 1 month or 2 months. I always take something, whatever it is. But this is an investment in your health. You're not spending money, you're investing it. So go and have a look if that's something that you feel like you need. By all means, if you don't want to, that's fine, but you're missing out. You're really, really missing out. It's something that has changed my life. And even I was going to the dentist all the time, constantly. My teeth were breaking and I was getting fillings and whatever. I haven't been to the dentist since I have started taking this. So obviously that had something to do with, the free radicals and all of that. I'm not sure, but I don't need to do it. I haven't been to a doctor in years, not even for one thing. I don't get sick, nothing. So I've gone from being a very, very unwell person who thought they were going to die to never going to a doctor and having no medication. I don't even take paracetamol. So anyway, I've put it out there for you, and if it's something you're interested in, go for it. If not, ask me questions. I can send you a video on it to break it down a little bit more for you. Send me a message. I've messaged a lot of you in this group, You've asked me about it. I've messaged you. You've got the information now. So either, you know, see what you can do with it. But I strongly, I love this. I absolutely love this. And like I said, you know, I've taken every single supplement and whatever under the sun. I've taken it all. I spent tens of thousands of dollars on products to help my health, and this was by far, I don't take anything else. I drink my celery juice and I have magnesium at night. Every now and then I might pop like some sort of oil or whatever, but this is it, because you don't need vitamins, because it activates your cells to create their, you know, to absorb and create their own. You don't need a bunch of supplements. This is all I take. So I hope it's going to help someone, because that's what I'm here for. This group is to help people, and that's what I want to do. So if, you know, it tickles your fancy, go for it. Ask me questions, pop whatever in the comments, but it's here for you to have a look at, because I care exactly how you feel and I want you to feel better.